Remember when we used to do this? Do you remember
No.
those, Greg? You don't remember?
Nope.
It's been a minute.
I don't remember any sort of contractual obligations to be here. I never signed any paperwork with you that said we needed to do a show minimum.
That is true.
That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I want to see the people. There's no contract. There's no legal thing that we wouldn't tell you about. That would be weird, right?
Wait, who's echoing? 504 says there's an echo. Is there really an echo? Or are we doing?
Is there
an echo?
Oh, no.
Let me know. Nathan is. Thanks, Bob. Nathan is. He's having new challenges. Unfortunately, he's okay, but he's having some new challenges that I'm working through with him.
Thanks, Rebecca. My back is better. That's part of the reason we missed one of the shows. I just texted Travis. I'm like, I don't think I can do the show.
Well, let's talk about that let's record that because I need to hear that. I don't have any context behind this whatsoever.
That's not that interesting, but just pain.
No, I'm sorry. We're gonna go over it anyway. So let's go ahead and hit that record and get this thing going.
Yeah, let me check some settings. By the way,
remember how to do that?
Yeah, by the way, you'll see this in an upcoming video. I recently, the other day, unboxed the second version of the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Oh, yeah. I want to see
it's actually at my studio, which I need to set up like a podcast setup there. But let me tell you, do not look at one of those things, Travis, because you'll want to throw your first one out for no reason and get one. It's just it's built so nice, and it's like a little bit smaller than this one, and it's just like, yeah. And it has you know what I really want to do on GadgetCast? It has those like stupid live like voice effects where you can do like the megaphone or like the deep voice. So
we would totally do that.
Don't look at one.
And by the way, I might. I mean, I still might. The thing is, I think because I've been thinking about it, and just the other day I'm like, well, we don't do as many podcasts. Maybe I shouldn't get it, but I'm like, I bet you it's really cool. And I saw there's some new firmware upgrades, and I'm like, it seems like they're even making it better even since it's launched. And I'm like,
I feel like they can. Can't they bring those firmware upgrades to like this?
Yeah, but would they? I mean,
they
it's like why
wouldn't? It was like $600. Like throw the first users a bone, man. But the second one is so nice.
I need to sell out and do like a sponsored video so I can get.
Dude, I think I'm gonna contact the people at Rode. I'm gonna get you one for free. How about that?
That would be amazing. And listen, they can sponsor this live stream. What is going on with you, Rode? We have all of your shit. We bought it all with our own money.
200,000 subscriber YouTube channel. You better give me that Rode kit.
Plus,
I'm switching over to who else makes stuff? Go XLR. I'm switching to the Go XLR. Yeah.
Screw you, Rode. Okay.
Yes. All right. Let me make sure it's on the
make sure everything's good.
I've done this in a while.
By the way, everyone, I'm using a new webcam, the new Insta 360 Link. Tell me if you like it. It does all types of cool things, but the quality is really good.
Are we skipping the intro like we did like the last time we go?
No, because that was just weird. Let's do the regular intro. People want to know what's going on. I think. Let's just do it.
People like that.
All right. You want to just go right into it? You're trying to do a retention play? Okay. I mean,
I'm trying to juice the numbers a bit. All right. We'll do the intro. Screw it.
3, 2, 1.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Liftoff.
Hello, everyone. It's been a minute. Welcome back to the GadgetCast. My name is Gregory McFadden. I can't even say my own name. And I'm always here with my co-host, Travis MCP.
Space travel.
Just say space travel.
Yes, you do just say space travel, Justin.
I said Gregory McFadden is here to tell you about the podcast. I couldn't get my own name out.
It's podcast. It's PW.
Yeah, Gregory McFadden here, ready to take you to the GadgetCast. Welcome to the GadgetCast, everyone.
Bro, we back. We've been gone for a minute. And here's the thing. Thanks, everyone, for everyone's giving me props on my new webcam, which I shall talk about, like, what happened with that on the show. But before we get into that, we've been gone for a couple of weeks. And one of those weeks, I mean, there were various reasons for each week. They just seemed to just not work out. But one of those weeks, you somehow hurt yourself, and I don't understand because you don't go nowhere, really do anything. Like, how did you hurt yourself? How did you injure yourself?
Well, you know, I've been trying to be on like a physical fitness kick. I don't know if you could tell. I've been hitting the gym pretty hard for a couple months now.
Look at you.
I'm swole, Travis. Next time you
Are
see
you?
me, you're gonna be scared of me. You're gonna go, oh my God, this Greg guy, he's jacked. I don't want to mess with Greg.
Nice.
When you see these guns,
Oh, all right now.
But no, I have been working out a lot in the gym. And I've been progressing to heavier and heavier weights as I do this. And I just pulled my back deadlifting. So.
Oh my God. Okay. I feel like if you deadlift and you pull your back, you have reached the top of what you should be doing, and you're doing too much.
I think that I can go further, and I think it's gym injuries happen, and this is my first gym injury, so
Greg.
It's like a badge of honor.
Greg, come on. You're a tech YouTuber. You are not supposed to be pulling your back, lifting weights. What's wrong with you?
I want to, improve my physical fitness. So
listen, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Ironically, as a matter of fact, on my new channel, when it launches, hopefully by the next time you guys see a Gadget Cast that it will launch, you will see that I've done kind of similar-ish type things. I will say though that I'm proud of you for doing those things to make yourself more healthy, which is great. But pulling your back is just, can we just avoid that from now on? Can we just try to like go a little, you just get toned and don't try to be like the next Arnold Schwarzenegger, what's his name?
I want to, hold on. It's so embarrassing. Never mind. I was gonna be like, look at these guns. And I was like looking, I'm like, oh, they're not that good today. Got some definition. Hey, it's weird though, because I've been just shooting videos regularly, and like I've been getting some YouTube comments going, Greg, you're looking pretty buff lately. And I was, that's like the best. You don't even tell anyone you're working out. People are saying you're looking buff, so that's good.
Well, I got when I had lost a bunch of weight a couple of years ago, I was getting comments about, oh, you look better. Even when I started gaining the weight back, I'm like, well, y'all are not really paying. Like, how fat was I? What are you talking about? I'm actually
people in my hair is not the best. Say people in the Gadget Cast, do I look good? I look pretty good, right?
Oh my God, you're crazy. Look at that.
It's pretty good.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Everyone who's listening on the audio podcast is like, what's happening right now? Greg is flexing, and I'm not talking about like showing a new iPad.
There we go. Look at that. That's
He's literally flexing his arms. This isn't even.
See that little bend? Yeah, it's
make you muscle. Bigger. Hold on, let me make you bigger. There you go. Look at that. Now you can see
has nothing to do with like a deadlift, but it's good.
Good Lord, that's actually not bad,
right? Not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Listen, I don't know. I mean. Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's gonna make fun of me for this now. I know it's not like the best physique in the world, but these are the most muscles I've ever had, so I'm pretty happy with it.
I'm impressed. I'm not hating. I can't possibly hate on you. You're doing better for your health, which means you'll be here longer, and that's a win for everybody. All right. Oh, let me real quick talk about this.
I'm training to beat Sam for my update. That guy said, there's going to be a boxing match. So I've been in the gym heavy for 5 months. So next time Sam sees me, he's going to regret that he ever said he wanted to meet me in the ring. So that's the truth.
Influencer boxing is kind of a thing. They just don't do it in tech YouTube, but
yeah, but I'm going to start it up. Who do you have money on? Do you have money on me, Sam for my update? You got money on Marquez, Lou, Lou, I think he could throw a mean hook. Look at Lou, I think.
So if anything like that ever happened, and I was challenged by another tech YouTuber, I would do, okay, it's MMA or nothing. I'm not just going to do boxing. I would go MMA and I'd finish them. Unless it was Renee. Renee is actually a beast. So probably wouldn't go after Renee because he's probably better at grappling than I am. But boxing wise, like it's not even about how big or strong you look. It's about technique. And I feel like a fight between you and Sam would be hilarious to watch. Like that would just be flailing and just hilarious.
Until he's on the floor screaming and crying. And he has to admit that Gadget Cast is so much better. So
superior.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to handle that. See, people in the comments, Jasmine says she noticed. I didn't have to tell anyone. She noticed the working out.
She's a fan of yours, which isn't fair. That you can't.
Yeah, well,
count on. She's a fan.
Everyone else on the show isn't a fan of me, so I think it's fair. It's
fair.
And someone said it was because I was getting old. That's why I threw out my back. I take issue with that. I've had times where I've thrown out my back reaching for the remote when I wasn't in shape. So I don't think that's an age thing. I feel like it's just, it's just a heavy weight, and I did it the wrong way. It happens. It happens. Travis used to do like MMA fighting, right? You must have seen tons of injuries and stuff like that.
I mean, I was injured every Saturday when I come home from the gym. I was like, yeah, of course. But arms.
Listen, I was listening to Travis talking to some people talking about their experience working out and stuff, and I was like, I should do that.
You should work out.
I should be a martial artist.
You should be. No, I mean, listen, maybe. I mean, you never know.
Why not me? Jake Paul, not Logan Paul, Andrew Tate. You want to get in a ring with me? No chance.
Is that your next thing? Instead of going for presidency, you're going to try to be the next heavyweight champion in the world?
I think that's a little bit more achievable. Achievable. Yeah, I think it's a little more in my wheelhouse, So if a Logan Paul or Jake Paul or Andrew Tate, who seems to be the new hotness, if they want to get in the ring with me.
I mean, if Graham Stephan of all people will get into a boxing ring.
Graham Stephan, that guy, I could snap that guy, Graham Stephan.
Anyway, real quick for the people who watch live stream, I got this InstaLink 360. It's a thing. If you're on YouTube lately, you probably saw a bunch of sponsored videos by people. I actually saw my Justine do a video on it, some other people talking about this new webcam from Insta360 who do, a bunch of different camera stuff. And it's the first time that I can think of where I watched very obviously sponsored content from multiple creators that actually made me want to buy a product. So I did. Now, it's an expensive webcam. It's like $300. It's not a cheap webcam. It does a bunch of cool things. But the reason I bought it is because the quality, and Jonathan Morrison did a video too, the quality on it looked really good in these videos. And I'm like, does it look that good in real life? So I got it here. I put it in. I played around with it for a couple of days. It's spectacular. In my mind, like the quality, especially the video quality, which you can't see streaming here. You can only see some of it because this thing can go up to 4K and we can't stream in 4K using what we're using. But the quality is excellent. Now, here's what's funny. $300. Got it. Loved it. Tweeted about how I liked it. A day later, I got an email from these guys. They're like, hey, we got this new webcam out. Would you like to try it? Like, Jesus Christ. If y'all had come at me a week earlier, I could have saved myself $300. So now I'm trying to figure out a way to get a second one because that's just how I am. But it sounds like, Greg, you had an opportunity to jump on this too. You don't have to go into detail, but apparently you had an email.
Well, let's just say I'm bad with the emails, as people on GadgetCast know. And I may have had an opportunity to also just get this camera and review it. I could have been a Jonathan Morrison, but I just didn't have it in me.
It could have been a less crispy Jonathan Morrison.
Yeah, I would have been Jonathan Soggy.
Okay, let's real quick talk about a couple things that have come out since the last time we were here, which is mostly Samsung, before we start to guess about what Apple's up to. Number one, and also remind me to talk about my, by the end of this, my battery life on my iPhone 13 Pro Max at the end of this episode, because I want to talk about that. So Samsung has released their new foldables, which in my mind are the only truly interesting phones that will come out this year and perhaps for the next couple of years, just because still foldables, while they've been out for a couple of years, are still kind of newish. And certainly it's not something you see every day. And, the things that some of them offer, especially the fold where you get more real estate, is interesting. But this year really disappointed me. And it's interesting to watch people's reactions to this because for me, it's a half step up from last year. Now, some people will go, well, I mean, yeah, they kind of perfected it. What do you expect? Okay, well, if it's only going to be a half step up, I expect to not have to pay $1,800 for it again. That's number one. If they're only kind of making these marginal improvements, don't charge me for the R&D price of like the version 2 that started looking really good. Like that, you got your money back on that. Don't charge me $800, $1,800 for something like that, especially considering these incredible trade-ins for like thousands of dollars on phones that aren't worth $1,000. So it's obviously just trying to get them through. And it's not to say that if you don't have a foldable, that the Fold 4 isn't amazing or the Flip 4 isn't amazing. From zero, it's great. From last year, it's iterative and not even like interestingly iterative. If there was something like a better glass protection, or I don't know, like I don't even know what to tell you that would make it more interesting. And I also understand that you won't necessarily upgrade from year to year on foldables. Like that's just silly. But when you look at like how much time they had to put into this and how much money they're putting into it, to me, it's like, well, why did you just put out another of the same thing, basically? Like, but what I find really interesting are the apologists online for this, which I'm really not understanding. They're like, well, what do you expect? I mean, it's already pretty great, so it only needs to get a little bit greater. I'm like, bro, can you imagine like doing anything in life where that was good enough? Can you imagine? Look. They hired me last year for this job. I do the same job, but maybe just 30 minutes longer a year. Make sure you pay me the same, and in some instances, pay me more. Like, no, like, no. Had a year to get better. It should be better, and if not, wait another year. Just, I don't get, Greg. I'm obviously on one side of this fence. Where are you on this?
I mean, that sounds like my professional career. Just pay me a little more. I'll do a little less. So it sounds good to me.
I mean, I'm not really triggered by this. I pretend like I am, but I'm not.
I'm pretty out of the wheelhouse on all the foldable stuff. From the I didn't get a Flip 3 or a Fold 3, but I did order the Flip 4 and the Galaxy Watch. What is it? 5 Series Pro. It's not Series 5. It's like 5 Series Pro. Mm-hmm. So I ordered some Samsung stuff.
Yeah. So and Franklin brings up a point that I've seen people say, which I think they're missing the most important thing. It's like it's not for people who have the Fold 3, which is what I said. It's for people for the first Fold. This is what I said. But that's like saying why Apple charges the same for every phone. But that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, iterative Apple is the same thing, and people dunk on that all day long, but they're okay with it for the Fold. And more so, it's $1,800. It's not like $1,000 and it's the same. It's almost twice as much. Like use that money to make it cooler. That's my problem with it.
Yeah, when I was looking at ordering all these different phones from Samsung, I ordered the Flip, and one of the reasons I did was because it was $1,000. When I looked at the Fold and I looked at the improvements year over year, I went, well, that's pretty steep. It doesn't look like they improved it that much, and it's $1,800. So I'm not going to take the bite on that. But I think their strategy with the Flip is a little bit more commendable because they did get that down to $1,000. It is a foldable phone. But it seems like these are very, very iterative updates this year. And we might be seeing that across the board. We might even be seeing that from Apple. I know a lot of people are excited about like the iPhone 14 Pro, but if you're kind of reading into like the rumor stuff about like the regular iPhone 14, that might be one of the most iterative phones that Apple has ever released, if the rumors are true. It might be almost exactly. Yeah, it might be the same thing as like the iPhone 13.
I will dunk so hard on them if that happens. So don't think I won't. I will.
Yeah, like the 14, basically, to me, like I think the strategy for Apple is they're basically going to take most of the features and like the chipset that were in the 13 Pro and make that the 14. But that's really not that exciting because that phone existed. It's going to be a year old, and the 14 is still a very expensive phone. And yeah, I'm even like looking at like all like these updates and I'm kind of going, so there's really nothing new here. Apple can always surprise us with something. It's hard to know now, but if I really look at it now and I look at what they're introducing, and it's kind of like, wow, this really seems like an afterthought. I don't know if it's something, maybe it's a Samsung, maybe it's something to do with these chip shortages. Maybe they couldn't get all the components they wanted for a more exciting upgrade. Like, I get that. But for the consumer, it's kind of like, you should be doing a little bit more.
Well, and the other point is, I mean, it's a good point about the chip shortages, but
yeah, the
thing that really is the most damning is I don't know that anyone has been able to tell me what the real big difference is between like the Fold 3 and the Fold 4 or the Flip 3 and the Flip 4. Because generally speaking, if it's a software difference, 9 times out of 10, those software updates come to the older phones like within like 2 months. All the old phones always get those features that are in the new phones. This goes for Apple too, where it's the same damn thing. So then at that point, you might as well just get a Fold 3 or a Flip 3 and save yourself a whole bunch of money, get the same features. And again, Apple is completely, you could say, guilty of this, but in a good way, because you can hold onto your phone a lot longer and continue to get those updates. So at least for them, you can hold on to a phone 4 or 5 years and continue to get those updates. So yeah, it's like at that point, how are you even differentiating yourself? And I'll tell you, if Apple does this, they can get away with it because, and not that I think this is a good thing, but they'll get away with it because of their name, their branding, and the loyalty that people have to them. I hope that it bites them in the butt, because I feel like they're getting so lax that the kind of cool nature of the big things that they would come out on a phone every year is getting so slow that we're kind of like, why I don't, am I getting even the 14? The only reason, I'll tell you this, Greg, the only reason that I may get a 14 Pro Max, the only reason is that I've always hated the notch and I want something that's smaller. That's it. If it didn't have that, I don't think there's going to be anything on it that I would want from it. Period, zero. Especially since I'm not covering tech anymore, not really anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see myself buying it other than for that one feature. And they know that, so they're going to sell a bunch of
them. I feel like the 14 Pro is it is more exciting to me, like as someone who covers this, and I agree with you, the phones are getting more iterative. I think for me, actually, it's not even the notch. It's and I know like the cameras are great on all these phones. It's the camera upgrade for me for the iPhone 14 Pro, with them moving to a higher megapixel count. I think it's like a 42 megapixel camera. And Apple's resisted moving up in this megapixel count for a long time. Like Samsung's been doing this for these multiple Android manufacturers have had way bigger megapixel counts, but I think it speaks to maybe like a big shift in the camera technology if Apple's ready to adopt it. And I want to see what Apple can do computationally with all their software to really take advantage of all that extra resolution. I feel like that could potentially be a pretty big photo upgrade this year for the 14 Pro, because they're still on a 12 megapixel sensor when almost every other manufacturer has been off that for like a few years. And the 13 Pro, even with that 12 megapixel sensor, was killing it in the camera department. Like when those reviews dropped, people said best camera smartphone, period. And it still was behind on resolution. So I am really interested to see this camera in action, but maybe it's all kind of hype. But I'm wondering, I'm like, why did they take so long to do this upgrade? And like, do they feel competent now to go, we're going to knock it out of the park. We're going to have 8K video that is actually like really solid. Because I think almost anyone would tell you Apple in video, it's like a whole other ball game, like their quality and stuff. So they did that cinematic mode last year. Maybe they can up the resolution on that. I think it's pretty exciting for the Pro. I think there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. But that regular 14 is just rough. And the crazy part to me of all of this is they are ordering, Apple, more phones than ever. Everyone, all these analysts, Apple themselves, seem to think that this is going to be maybe the biggest year ever for the iPhone. And that's kind of insane when you think about, we're talking about iterative updates, but there's this shift, because I was hearing for years and years, right? Like you've heard like these stories like the iPhone isn't selling as well. The smartphone sales are going down. And maybe it was 5G that just triggered like this upgrade cycle. But ever since like the 12, I feel like it's been on an upward trajectory. And every year they seem to be increasing orders.
Yeah. And you brought up a good point about the potentially high. So in a lot of ways, maybe this is, because they've resisted, this is going to be a big camera upgrade, and hopefully we'll see some differences there. And if they can do 4K cinematic mode, I'll use that a lot, because I am using my iPhone to do a lot of footage for my new channel. So I would love that. I would actually start using that format a lot more, especially if it can do it. So it is funny that in a weird way, they've kept this as potential, because most of the time people are like, well, is the camera any better? And especially people that are just walking down the aisle in your local Walmart or at your your local telecom, where you're like your T-Mobile, or is this a better camera than what I have? Like that's a big selling thing for people. So it's interesting that they've been able to hold this back where no one's able to do anything compelling, and now they can go, oh, by the way, we made our camera 30% better because there's so many more like that's actually kind of a compelling selling point.
Yeah. I was actually thinking back when the 13 came out, and I really wish I did more of this in the 13 coverage. But one of the things I did when the 13 Pro came out is I shot a video exclusively just using all the cameras I think on the 13 mini and the 13 Pro. And I actually looked back at that video. That was almost a year ago because these phones are about to come out. And, again, I don't want to tout my numbers like I'm some huge success. I'm no MKBHD or Linus Tech Tips, but like that video got like 100,000 views, like over 100,000 views, which is pretty good for me. That's a good video. So, and I think about that and I'm like, that was shot all on the phone. Like I didn't need my really expensive Sony camera to go do that. I did that all on my iPhone, and shooting that video was a ton of fun. Like I remember shooting it because it was like all these other times it's like, I got to worry about this setting. I got to do this. I got to make sure the audio is right. I got to do all these things. And I'm like, I just went into the stock camera app. I hit record and that's it. And it was like so effortless. It was probably one of the easiest videos I made, even though it kind of was pretty interesting. So I like think back at that. I'm like, wow, like these phones are good enough that you can make a pretty successful YouTube video on it. And either people are going to not care, or in some cases people are like, this looks really good.
Yeah. And I hate to tout something that most people already know about, that the iPhone video is so good. But for me as a creator, like I said, like for the, not to get too deep in the woods, but like yesterday I shot a new video for the new channel I'm doing, and I couldn't use a regular camera because I needed to be kind of sneaky. But everyone has a phone. So it was very easy to just have your phone out. And the cool thing is all the footage I looked at later looks great. Like the quality is so good that it's totally usable. And I love that. I'm so excited about the fact that a phone is absolutely something that you can use as a creator now.
Yeah, and it's so cliche to say this because I feel like people have been saying this for like the past couple of years, but it really is the thing when you go to upgrade. It's a lot of the camera improvements really do speak to me. It's funny, you're just mentioning that too. I did that video in New York City, and that's one of the things. Like, you bring a bigger camera, you start to feel a little self-conscious. Like, are people looking at me? Is someone going to come up to me and be like, "Don't film here"? And you're right. You bring out your phone, you don't feel any of that. Everyone's got a phone. Everyone's taking pictures. Everyone's taking video. No one cares when it's a phone. But if it's a little bit bigger, sometimes people do get freaked out and they come up to you and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Or da da da.
Or you can't go into a store or something with it.
If you go into a store and people are asking questions, all of a sudden you just have your phone. No one cares. There's so much less pressure on you.
You can stream from inside. Like, they're like, no cameras. I'm sorry, you can't have cameras in here. But I can probably stream on Twitch all day long. Like, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing.
Exactly.
It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because they're like, well, we can't keep you having your phone in. But you can keep, I don't know. Anyway, it's just, it's kind of hilarious that a phone does not have the stigma of a camera.
It doesn't. Though
it actually can do more than a camera because you can
stream it out. It's worse than a camera if you really 100%. Think about it. You should wish that people are filming with like a dumb camera. Like, people could literally be live streaming your live, like you talking with someone. But yeah, people don't care.
It's crazy. And
it's kind of like, I know this is so like, why are we talking about this? It's like when people were getting kicked out for wearing Google Glass, and people were so scared of getting recorded. And when you think about that now, it's just like, how many people are just whipping out their phone recording you? Like, you were scared because it was on the glasses, but like, people are already doing this. People are already recording everything, and you probably don't even know about it because when you see a phone, your immediate instinct isn't to go, "Hey, is that camera on?" You're just like, "Oh, someone's using their phone."
And it's normal.
It's normal. People were freaked out at Google Glass. Like, oh my God, a camera that's always on. It's like, we have that. We have that now.
I love this argument from people when, especially because I have, tons of echoes around my house, and they're always like, "I don't want Amazon, or anybody. I don't want anyone, listening to my conversation stuff." I'm like, bro, let me explain something to you. You have a supercomputer in your pocket with not only a speaker, but a camera and GPS and the ability to stream that information at any time. And you worried about an echo that sits in your kitchen and tells you, what kind of things to cook. Like, bro, you have bigger problems. You have bigger problems if that's your issue. It's dumbness. All right. Dumbness. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the fold and this, and listen, the fold and flip, again, in a vacuum, great phones. They're only iteratively better than 3 or 4, the 3s, which of course means you shouldn't upgrade from them to another. But if you've never had one, they're probably the best ones to get. And there's some really good trade-in deals right now for both. So definitely take a look. I hear T-Mobile is legitimately just giving a Flip away. If you upgrade to one of their phone lines, you just get a Flip 4. Like, here, have one. That's pretty amazing.
What?
So yeah. So there's offers to be had. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, that's Samsung. And we already kind of talked about the iPhone 14, but
we did. We worked it in. We are, look at that. That's skill, that's talent. We haven't done this in over 3 weeks, and we just come back. We integrate 2 topics into one. Cover it.
So you're gonna buy probably everything because you have the channel, but put yourself in the mindset of Greg without the gadget. Greg
without the gadget. Ooh,
Greg without the gadget. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, we'll do that after this. Greg without the gadget. What do you buy this year, or do you buy anything? iPhone wise.
Phone wise? Do I buy anything?
In other words, do you have the phone you have now? Let's say you're like, I'm quitting Greg's Gadgets. Like, I'm no longer Greg from Greg's Gadgets. I got canceled. No more.
I'm Greg.
You're just Greg. And the 14 comes out, and the 14 Pro comes out, and the 14 Pro Max comes out. Mm. Are you at that point interested? Do you get any of them? Do you upgrade?
I think I am interested in the 14 Pro. Honestly, I think I do get that phone. But I would say, like, if we're going back a year, going like 12 to 13, I would not have upgraded. Something like that.
So interestingly, I almost felt like I had to go from the 12 to 13 because my battery life on the 12 Pro was not, or Pro Max was not as good as the 11 Pro Max. So the 13 fixed it. So I felt like I had to in a weird way. I wish I didn't go from 11 to 12.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the 14 Pro. I think there's probably a chance I would still get it even if I wasn't doing this. That's just me, like, being interested in the technology. But I probably wouldn't upgrade for a while after that if I wasn't doing a channel. And stuff like getting like a new like MacBook every year, like, that's insane. Like, I wouldn't do that if I didn't have a channel. It's crazy.
Yeah, laptops seem especially kind of weird to do that with.
Yeah.
Although phones wouldn't either. Would you go from 11 to 14? So again,
Absolutely.
It comes 100%. And I think the multiple years make sense. Plus, the notch, again, I want to get rid of the notch as fast as possible, by any means necessary if possible for me.
It's good. Like, I talk to my friends and they're usually on like older phones. It's kind of like a good way to get into like the mindset of someone who is looking to upgrade. And I do have a couple friends who have like an 11 and they are looking at the 14 this year. It seems like that's the time to upgrade.
Speaking of iPhones and the fact that the 13 Pro Max had fixed my battery issue, can you talk to me about your experience here? So I was saying earlier that I wanted to talk about my battery life on my 13 Pro Max, which has been immaculate all the way up until recently. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out why. And I still am not 100% sure why, other than I recently upgraded my phone software wise. Let me see which software I'm on.
You're not on the beta, right?
No, I'm not on beta. I don't do betas anymore. Let me tell you what version I'm on, because I feel like ever since I did that, I'm on 15.6. My battery life is definitely not as good as it used to be. And when I say, so to give you an example, like most of the time I'm home. So usually by the time I go to bed, I'm on Wi-Fi and everything. So my battery life is really good. Usually I'm like at high 60s, maybe mid 70% battery. But over the last couple of weeks, or the last week or two, I've noticed that it's particularly bad. So for example, right now, it is 2:36 p.m. Pacific. And while this might not seem terrible, I'm at 72%. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't done anything. Well, I went out a little bit, but only for like 20 minutes. I haven't really done anything. I don't use my phone all that much. I'm at 72%. Normally, I would go to bed at 72%, and it's 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So I've been routinely lately at like 50-something%, and that's never been the case. So I'm just wondering if anyone else has had this issue with 15.6, or if it's just me. I don't know.
I can't help you out there because I am on the beta, and that has, rightfully so, has absolutely destroyed my battery life. I have to charge it like midway through the day.
Oh my God.
And I don't know what like your battery health is, but mine's like, I swear right before I installed the beta, I looked at it And I swear I looked at it and I was like, wow, this is still 100%. This battery is holding up extremely well. I've been on the beta since like it's been released, and I looked at it like the other day and I was like, wow, it's 90% battery health. That doesn't seem right. And I was like, is it because I've been charging it like so much because of the beta? Have I just like aged this phone like unnaturally? It seems.
Or is it calculating it wrong? So take a guess. So
that's it too. Like, is it the beta? And because it was so used to the old calculations it was on, like, I don't know how they calculate the battery life. I don't think it actually takes like a physical thing of the battery life. It must just be like some like software going, your battery's lasting this long. Your health must be at like 90% now. That must be it.
So Jeff says that his battery has gone down and he thinks it might be the update. Katya says 13 Pro Max, 24 hours goes to 7. Yeah. So, so not everyone's having the issue that I am, but my battery, take a guess. What do you think this is a day one 13 Pro Max. What do you think my battery health is? Now, for clarification, I MagSafe charge my phone using like a third-party MagSafe charger. For a large portion of its life, I would do it every other day, although lately I've been doing it every night. So what do you think my battery life health is?
I want to say 100%.
Okay, you say 100. Don says 85. That's real, man. You must think I hate
That's
my
way
phone.
too low. No way.
See, battery life went from 100 to 90 in the last 2 weeks. No beta.
I'm gonna say it's like 98 or 100.
Okay, you say 90. Genosis says 100%, which, by the way, I think is impossible. I think 100% a year later means that it's a flawed algorithm. Like the calculations are terrible. I'm not on beta, but hers is 94. Okay, mine is 99%. I just checked it.
99. Yeah.
So it's still really good. I still think that those are kind of faulty numbers. I feel like you know how like the iPhone will stay at like if you charge your phone to 100%, an hour later it's still at 100%. You're like, no, there's just it's not 100%. Like I feel like Apple juices those numbers a little bit. So I feel like it's one of those things, but it's at 99% allegedly. And but the battery life is substantially different with this new update. So I'm hoping that with a future update that things get better. We'll see.
Yeah, it's always hard to diagnose that. I've had issues before where it's like just one day it's like, why is my battery life taking such a hit out of nowhere? It's like I really didn't change anything. It's
yeah.
weird.
Genosis says in previous years, whenever I would update their factory reset my phone, the battery percentage would change. I believe that. Jasmine, who's on a, I think she said it's a 10S Max or something like that, is at 80%. But if you think about it, a 10S has been out for a very long time. So that's still actually pretty good. But 80% is right around where you can get the battery exchange, right? For like, or what is it? Well, I think you can pay for it regardless. But I think
it's like $79 to change it.
Yeah, it's not too bad if you want to stay with that phone. Of course, trading in towards the newest would be cool if you have the ability to do that financially. 90% currently 90%.
Jasmine's getting a 14. Let's be honest. She's like, I got one more month with this 80% battery life, and I'm gonna get that 14.
It is weird that we're only like allegedly a month away from. Are they saying
1 month away?
Now, when is the scheduled? I should say the leaked or assumed date that they're going to announce this.
I've seen people saying as soon as like September, like let me check my calendar. I don't want to get the dates wrong. People are going to be mad. I've seen people saying as soon as like September 6th or 7th for the event. Wow. I feel like that's like a little too soon.
That seems early, isn't it?
I said September 13th sounds about right. September 13th to me sounds about right.
You get them because 2 weeks later is when you usually
on the 23rd.
That sounds right to me.
That sounds right. That sounds like the usual release schedule. I can only assume with all these production issues too, they'd want a little. I feel like the early releases, like, why would they do that? Don't they want a little more time to ramp up production with all like these issues they're having with the supply chain? I don't know. But yeah, it's soon. Either way, it's like it's a week difference, and yeah, it's only a month away.
Wow, where did the year go?
Time flies, man.
Bro,
I just feel like I got the 13, so I'm like,
I always feel that way by the time because I remember this color of the case had just come out just a couple months ago, and I was like, oh yeah, it matches up, yay! And now it's like I got to get rid of it because I got to get the new one, and I like this color. It's little baby blue. It's all nice and pretty.
I got the blue too. I hope they like. I want like this blue again, but I know they're not going to do another.
For damn sake.
They never do the same color.
Oh, I'm blocked up. For those of you listening to the audio. podcast. My USB died. My USB died.
How does your USB die?
My USB died. Okay.
How does that die?
They're starting to come back now. I hate this. I'll tell you why this is in a minute, as soon as I can get myself situated. Can you still hear me?
You want to know another cool feature on the new Rodecaster, Travis?
What's that?
You can pause recording midway through. Like if you're having this glitch, I could just pause it, and then when you're ready, just resume, and I wouldn't have to edit it.
That's amazing.
Dude, there's so many cool features on that new one.
I need to get that. Well, the problem here, let me unplug this. Maybe this will help. The problem is that I have like too many USB things plugged into my computer, and every so often, but this has not happened before, where it's just like my mouse is dead, everything's dead. It usually doesn't happen like this, where I'm locked out of everything. My mouse doesn't move. So basically I can't do anything. I can't even stop the stream if I wanted to. Does my keyboard? Well, keyboard works. My mice don't work. Oh, I know how to fix that. So let's see. Have I killed everything? Let's see. Oh, wow. See, I can see you making faces, which is kind of funny. Is my whole front USB port thing dead? No. Is that what happened? Hold on. Oh my God. I would have to reboot. I bet you if I rebooted, it would be fine. But my whole top, so this makes sense. The reason why my mouse and everything died is because I plugged my my mice and everything into the top part of my desktop, and it looks like that whole thing died. That whole top part. So my everything died. But why did my Bluetooth die? This is so weird. I'm so confused. I could shut down and come back, but that would be weird. And it would desync our. Let's do this. Let's kill this podcast. Let's just finish the recording. I'll try to come back. We'll do a little live streaming for the aftercast, since we were pretty much done anyway. And I'll see if I can bring this back to life. The ironic thing is I had another tech YouTuber build a computer for me. It's done, and I haven't gotten it yet. I would love for him to give it to me.
What tech YouTubers building computers,
That was Roby Tech. He built my computer a couple of weeks ago. It's a long live stream. It's on his channel.
Tell Roby Tech, I need someone to come and build my computer.
All right. Well, wait, weren't you given a freaking free computer at one point?
Perhaps.
In some parking lot somewhere? All right. Let's stop. Let's kill. Hold on. Let's kill the audio podcast so I can fix this for the video podcast. So anyway, for the audio podcast listeners, hopefully we'll be back in a couple of weeks or so, or next week, or who knows.
Maybe next week. Maybe we do it twice in a row. Maybe
we can have everything fall apart again next week. So anyway, he's Greg. I'm Travis. We'll see you next week. So the funny thing about all this is like, this has never died like this before. It usually comes back. The fact that it has not come back is kind of not great. But then again, I haven't really used this camera for as long as I did today. I think I killed it. Bro.
Interesting.
It's sad. And your headphones are anyway, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm so upset with this. Oh, are you doing card magic now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did I show you? I should show you I actually, because I think I told you I used to be a magician. I have a bunch of, okay, what are you gonna do? Do it. Okay, do it. Do whatever you're gonna do, okay? I have a bunch of playing cards. You're so funny. I have a bunch of playing cards that I have like a case for, and I'm filling them up now. I spent like $400 on cards the last week, dude. It's ridiculous.
$400?
Bro, I'm telling you, it's insane. It's really not good.
What?
It's really crazy. I don't know what my problem is. I need help. My mice don't work. How am I going to get out of this? How do I end the stream without being able to I don't know how this is going to work, Greg. I'm going to have to plug in the back or something. I really don't want to do that.
I'm going to have to stream forever.
I wonder if I just reboot my computer altogether and I come back. Yeah, I can come back because you'll still be live. You want to entertain people for like 3 minutes while I reboot?
I really don't want to entertain people, but I guess I'll try.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I will be right back.
Commenters ask questions because I don't know what I'm gonna do up here by myself.
Ask Greg. So I'll be back.
Ask Greg. New segment on the Gadget Cast After Hour.
Hopefully we'll be back. Any luck. Shiesel. There we go.
Oh, and boy, I'm here alone. Yeah. The stream never ends. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. Wow, there's 63 people watching still. That's kind of bad. I can't I don't think I can entertain this many people at once. Where did the name Gadget Cast come from? All right. We were starting a podcast and we were trying to think of a name. And, my channel name is Greg's Gadgets. And Travis couldn't think of a name. So I said, why don't, podcast, Gadget Cast. Take the gadget, take the cast, put it together. Gadget Cast. That's how we came up with the name. Not exciting. 619 WWE fan says, Greg, when are you going to come to Canada? I'm still waiting for you. What part of Canada are you in? Because I might be going to Canada before the end of this year. Maybe. Andrew Illingworth, what new features are you looking forward to on the new iPhone? I think I said it in the show. I'm looking forward to the new camera. I want 8K video. I want the higher megapixel count. That's what I'm looking forward to. Also, maybe like the new design. I don't know. Renosis, you're on the east side, right, Greg? Yes, I think. On the east side. Oh, Ontario, in the greater Toronto area.
All right.
I may be visiting the Toronto area before the end of this year. Should I meet 619 WWE fan in Toronto?
He's in Toronto?
He's in the greater Toronto area. Like, I would have to make him come to Toronto. I'm not going to the greater Toronto area. No offense. I'm not going to the greater area, but maybe in like a major city.
Yeah, what does that mean? Oh, now it's on the other webcam. Who cares? What does that mean? Where's the greater?
I feel like the greater area is like you are like at least 30 minutes away from the city of Toronto. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're in greater.
Yeah, you're like, not really in the good
30-minute. You're a half-hour drive from Toronto.
If they call it greater, it's not. Like it never is, right?
Yeah, so we need confirmation from 619 to see if he's, in Toronto or, the closest thing I can say is like people from like upstate New York say like, I'm from New York City. And it's like, no.
Greater Toronto means stuck in traffic. I've been to Canada. Vancouver, I used to go a lot, and I love Vancouver. Vancouver's tight. I wouldn't mind checking out Toronto. It sounds like a pretty dope place. I've heard good things, but I've also heard weird things about like French Canadians, which I don't think are French Canadians.
Yeah, we're not doing any of those French Canadians. I know Renee lives up towards that area. But we're gonna go to the regular Canada, Toronto.
Thank you. Want to go to regular Canada?
I want to go to regular Canada. Where everyone speaks my language and no one
speaks your language.
I feel like French Canada, I feel like it's a little intimidating. I feel like people are gonna like yell at me, be like, you ordered the wrong thing, you filthy American. Be like,
they probably will.
It's intimidating.
I don't know. I feel like they make me feel dumb.
Renee lives there though, and he's super nice. So maybe everyone else is just super nice,
He's super nice. But I do want to check out Montreal. Sounds like a cool place to go to. That would be kind of dope. I've heard good things about both. I would like to see them. Listen, I've never met a Canadian I didn't like. Well, yeah,
I met a few Canadians I did not care for.
Most of them are really great. Fantastic. Probably you could randomly pick a Canadian and randomly pick an American, and you're probably going to like the Canadian better.
I met
depending on where you pick them from.
Not that great. I'll just say it.
Who?
Canoopsy, not that great.
Oopsie, man. Oopsie Canoopsy, man.
Yeah.
Oopsie,
I met Canoopsy, he's a Canadian.
That dude's an old soul. Like he's older than his age.
He is.
Oopsie canoopsie. Love that guy.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
I've had poutine in America. I bet it's not as good in Canada. I think it's better in America.
No, I had Nanaimo bars, which are pretty great.
Everything's better in America.
A lot of things aren't. Let me tell you right now, especially. Why is Newfoundland not pronounced the way it's spelled? There's a lot of things like that. I mean, psychology. What's that P? I just thought I'm a Canadian. I just thought I'm a pain in the ass.
Food's definitely better in America though, because we're all overweight.
Some food is. We're all fat asses, so that helps.
I don't know. Every time I see like people come from like other countries on like holiday, as they say, they're always like eating all of our food. Going, this is amazing. So I don't know,
because it's fattening. That's why. Because we know we do how to doctor up some food, don't we?
Yeah, we know how to juice the numbers on that food. You know, put in some extra butter. I'm offending our entire international audience. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's like Texas barbecue outside of the U.S. is very different. I bet he's probably 619 is probably right about that.
Have you had poutine in the USA though? 619, like, is that verifiable?
Are you verifying that?
Yeah, I want verification. Like, have you been to the U.S. and went poutine? That's what I want in the U.S. I feel like if you're from Canada, you would never just order poutine here.
No. Just like on the West Coast, you don't order a Philly cheesesteak. It's not. I
should tell Travis about my brilliant YouTube channel idea, but I'm worried he'd steal it from me.
No, I'm already busy and I'm knee deep in my own, man.
Travis, I have such a good idea that would
do it.
I was talking about it with my friends, and I just went, I feel like I have to do this because there's no way it would fail. It would be easily a 1 million subscriber channel, easily.
Okay, let me.
And I say that it would be.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll tell you after. I don't want anyone else to hear.
Okay.
It's too good of an idea. I can't leak it. Let's see. Someone said something I was gonna follow up on.
I heard you have corn sugar syrup even in your bread. We got sugar and everything over here. We got.
Oh yeah, 619 said I was correct. He said like a 1 hour drive to Toronto.
Oh, is it? So it's outside, yeah.
That's far. You're not in Toronto. You need a better name for that.
Outside of Toronto. In other words, not Toronto. not Ronto.
That's okay. A lot of people who live in like Jersey, like close to New York City, sometimes say they live in New York City.
That's true, and they say that's true. Yeah.
No,
you don't. It's kind of a weird flex. Like, yeah. All right. Well, he's going to tell me about this YouTube channel I need to make that I'm going to steal from him. Everyone else will hope to be here next week. With any luck, my new channel will be up. With any not luck.
What's the best city to visit for me and Travis next?
Oh, in Canada or
not in Canada, just anywhere.
Oh.
Like, where should me and Travis visit together?
I mean, we've only gone to LA together.
Where should the Gadget Cast go next?
Yeah, where should we go?
You know, I want some good solid answers before we leave. Where should Gadget Cast go next?
That's true. Boston.
Now, I've been to Boston easy.
So
I've been to Boston many times.
I haven't been into the Boston proper. When I used to work at Amazon, I worked just outside of Boston, and the food was good. I worked at a little. I was helping put together an Amazon store, but I wasn't in Boston. I was just outside of Boston. So that is something I would like to see.
Travis, we should be bigger. If we were bigger, we could do like an East Coast tour, a West Coast tour. We could bring Gadget Cast live city to city.
I'm working on it, man. I'm working on this banger channel.
Bigger,
good. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm banger channel. St. Louis, we got. Listen, Vancouver. We can all meet up Vancouver. NOLA, Houston, Minneapolis. I would go to Minneapolis just to go to the Super Mall. Where else? What else? Tokyo. Oh, dude, I would love to go to Japan.
Yeah,
I think
they're letting people in right now, though, so that would be hard.
They? Well, it's fine.
I think it's very strict because of the Rona. Yeah. Still.
Well, okay, that's fine. If things ever change, would you? Oh, it's one of these fake phone numbers. Would you like to go to like Japan? Is that a thing? Because I think
hell yeah,
better half would be all about that life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. I would totally do that. Mall of America would be dope though. I would do
some good answers here. We got a lot of Boston though. That's good.
Dubai, I heard a little bit of that. That's too long of a flight though. Too long of a flight. Oh, here we go with these
greatest city in the world, baby.
Bro,
come on. I'm doubting that one.
Bro, have you ever got one of these fake Okay, look. Have you ever got one of these?
How about how about London? I think that might be a little better.
Have you ever gotten one of these fake texts before from a number that's like it pretends to accidentally text you? Conrad, this is Vivian. You got a minute? And this is what I get.
Whoa.
And you know what you're supposed to do? It's a trap. You're
I know.
supposed to, yeah.
I've gotten those before.
Yeah, and then like
you respond back. You're like, nope.
Nope, not me. No, this is Conrad's mom. Yeah, no, I hate those, man. I don't get them very often, but every so often. Anyway. Travis hate Japan. Greg would just go to the Pokemon store. I love the Japanese culture, dude. I've been a huge.
Me and Travis would hit up some arcades in Japan. It'd be a good time.
God. Dude, I would love Japan. I just wouldn't like the flight there. I've actually flown. I actually was in the airport for Japan. But that was many a year ago. I never got a chance to go out in Japan. I would like to go to the UK. I don't want to fly there, but I wouldn't mind going because I also like a lot of British. I'm a big British comedy guy.
Yeah, I love British comedy too.
I don't want to fly over the water.
British got the
yeah, I would love to go over there. We have several people that watch from the UK. I would love to go over there and say hi to them. London, Rebecca says Manchester. I love Cockney's hilarious. UK would be dope, but I would do Vancouver, and that's not very well. See, Greg has to come all the way he's from the East Coast. I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm not. Here's
my family's on the East Coast,
Canada, not Western.
So I could. When I do visit my family, could swing through, and then we could do an East Coast thing with Greg sometime. Scotland, Wales, and then England. Oh, all right.
I want to meet Travis's family. That's what I mean. Myself.
My dad you would laugh, but you'd be like, you wouldn't know if he was kidding or not. And he's one of the funniest people I've ever met, but he's not trying to be. Oh my God. My favorite British show. I like a lot of them, Don. So I got deep cuts. Of course, Red Dwarf is an easy one. Are You Being Served? Believe it or not. I like, there's a bunch of them that I like. I could go on for forever. Tons of them.
Are you a big Matt Berry fan?
Is that Matthew Berry or no? Who's Matt Berry? Oh, that's the guy from like the IT Crowd, right? I love IT Crowd. And yes, that guy is really funny, but I've never seen him outside of the IT Crowd. So
oh, really? He's in like a lot of shows over there. He's really good.
Love the IT Crowd. I would probably watch his stuff. The Original Office, of course. So I mean, yeah, I love all that stuff. I love it. The thing is, the reason why I even like that stuff is because in high school, one of my teachers introduced me to it. So we were in high school. How every once in a while you get one of those video days. Like, I don't know why teachers do this. I think because they just don't want to teach for a day or something. And he would play video British comedies. He's like, you guys will love this. And I don't remember which one it was, but I actually ended up liking it. And I asked him, and he started giving me VHSs and stuff. And yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I'll only do Eastern Canada, not Western. I don't know.
Vancouver's awesome though, dude. I think you would really love it.
I don't know.
The Cutter. So I think some places in the UAE would be cool. The only place I would go anywhere over there would be, where's my dude that on Twitter that I follow who does tech YouTube, who's over there. He has that like amazing apartment. What's that guy's name again?
I'm gonna meet 619 WWE fan in Toronto. I think that's what I'm
isn't he in the UK? I thought he was in the UK.
No, I think he's in Canada. He said to come visit him in the greater Toronto area. So I assume
I'm just that dense.
Pretty sure he's Canadian.
He's always been Canadian?
I don't know about always.
Fools and Horses Classic. I'm checking that. East, not West. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Well,
East Coast is the best coast, as we all know.
It is. All right. Well, anyway, it was good to be back, everybody. We'll try to be a little bit more frequent, but you just never know. Like, things come up sometimes. Regardless, we still appreciate you. We still love you.
Sometimes you injure your back, and you could literally not sit up. Travis, you should have seen me walking. You would have just made fun of me.
And you didn't make a video of this, which I'm really disappointed in you.
Of my injury? Make a video of my injury?
Everything is content, Greg.
No way.
Everything is content.
I have an image, people view me as a competent
do they now?
Guy who, never cries. Not, they just view me as that type of guy, and I can't shatter that illusion.
Anywho, I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. We'll definitely just check us out on Twitter and all the things. We'll see you guys and gals next time. Peace.